What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is, guess what? Dreams or nightmares? So what are your dreams? Remember, like when you were a child, you were always asked that. What are your dreams? What would you like to be? And you had ideas, right? Then you grew up and choose some of your dreams, but yet suddenly some of your dreams turn into nightmares. They were not what you thought they were. What if you can change that? Let's play with some tools of access consciousness to create something different in your life. Because magic is everywhere. Abundance is everywhere. What if you can tap into that abundance and start creating it in your life with total ease? Because I've been teaching classes around the world with Access Consciousness and Akashic Records for a while now. More than 8 years, let's put it this way, teaching classes, but doing the modalities and learning stuff ever since I was a kid. Talking about dreams. I was always dreaming about being a doctor. Guess what? I turned into reality and became a family physician, went through the whole college, medical school, residency, and opened my practice in Chicago area, only to find out that it was a nightmare. I was working 80, 90 hours a week, lots of paperwork, and 80% of my work was related to the paperwork, to dealing with insurance companies, and only 20% was actual patient care, talking to people and actually treating them. I was stressed beyond anything imaginable. But that was my dream, right? You would say, you were dreaming to be a doctor and you accomplished that. My nightmare turned into real scary stuff. I had an open heart surgery because of stress at age of 37, with a lot of complications, lots of stuff going on with my body. And every time when I thought coming back, because I always was dreaming about helping people, because that was my actual dream, helping people. And yet, being a physician turned into a nightmare. So I started asking, what else is possible? Ever since I was a kid, I was trying to find out what's beyond that. Because I remember when I was 6 years old, I had out-of-body experience where I felt one with the universe. And I was searching for that particular oneness, that expansion, being present in my body, the whole thing. And so I did yoga, I did Akashic Records, I did Reiki, I did awakening, I did meditation, I did a lot of creative visualization. Some of those modalities I was able to teach. Some of them was just for me. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. In what way? Some of them would expand me, but then a couple of days, couple of weeks later, everything went back to the same, kind of like the same feeling that I had. So with all of that, I realized that there is something more. especially after surgery, after not being able to work, because every time I would go back to the office, I would get chest pains and sometimes all the way to the emergency room. And then I found Access Consciousness, where it was, how does it get any better than that? What else is possible? And I realized that I don't have to live in nightmares anymore. And I can have my dreams with ease. It's just about choosing what works for you, what's light for you. So let's play with that. Let's allow ourselves to go into what is that we're dreaming of having in our lives. What would you like to have? And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be as simple as to have more money. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with asking for money. Because people think about, oh, we need to change the world. There is an amazing book that Dr. Dane here wrote, Being You Changing the World. Because what it is, when we choose for us, when we change us, actually not change, but become us, because nothing wrong with us. And I'll say again, there is nothing wrong with you or me or anyone in the universe. Nothing. Nothing wrong with our lives, nothing wrong with our choices. It's about what we chose based on the tools we had before. It was based on what we did before and what we chose before. So what if it wasn't wrong choice? What if those choices brought you here in this moment in time, in this space of being where you can choose something else? Okay, maybe it wasn't your brightest moment when you chose something different, something that wasn't working for you. And what if it was something that created different reality for you where you can now choose something different? And I'm going to use a clearing statement that Access Consciousness uses. So everything that's coming up right now, will you now let go of it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. This is kind of like an interesting phrase. It's a short speak because the old clearing statement was about 3 pages long with all the questions. The idea is to bring up the energy of limitations. And with clearing statement, it's a vibrational frequency, and it just clears everything that, all the lies that you just said, all the energy of limitation that's holding you back. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What if you can just, a simple like that, and by the way, you can use POC and POD, which is point of creation, point of destruction. And if you're curious, you can go to the website, theclearingstatement.com, and it explains in details how to use it, what it does, what it means, all of that. Basically, we're taking all the limitations, all the lies, and just destroying them. And it can be good, bad, right, wrong. It doesn't matter. It's about what will work for you. And that's about what your future can hold for you. Because what are the dreams? Dreams are usually about the future. What you would like to accomplish, what would you like to have. And everything that comes up right now, I know there is a lot of heaviness comes up because how many of those dreams are lies? And those dreams might not be even yours. Oops. I'll say it again. Some of your dreams, especially as a child, might not have been yours. They might have been your parents. And a lot of times parents love to live through their kids' lives. And they want kids to accomplish what they couldn't or didn't choose to. And now it's up to the child to create something that the parent didn't. But is it actually your dreams? Or your parents, your moms, your dads, your grandparents? They want you to accomplish that. What if you have totally different dreams? And yet, you have no idea what they are because you're overpowered by the emotions and feelings of your parents that have those dreams that they desire for you to accomplish. What is it that you actually dream of? What are your desires? Let's look at that and just ask. It's like you would say, how do I know that? Easy. You ask, what are my dreams? What are my desires? It's as simple as that. And please, please don't look for one answer. Because that's when you lock yourself into that one future. What if you have many desires and many futures and many things that you would like to have in your life? Don't limit yourself, please. What if there are infinite possibilities of your dreams? And what if your imagination is still limited? You say, let your imagination run wild. And your imagination can pull only things from your brain. And your brain, guess what? Your brain is limited. It can imagine only what it knows, what it's seen. So it cannot imagine bigger picture than what you already have seen. It's time for our first break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on the wonderful Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we'll continue to discuss our dreams and nightmares and how to create more of the dreams and less of nightmares. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. Canada 613-800-8736. Or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. And today our topic is, for people who are joining us now, dreams or nightmares. And it's pretty much self-explanatory, because a lot of times we create our dreams based on somebody else's idea of what our dream's supposed to be. And that's what we started talking about our parents' dreams and how much they push us to accomplish what they decided our dream should be. How many times you've resisted and reacted or aligned and agree with that? Because it doesn't matter. If you align and agree with them, so there is still that, I don't want to do that. And it's always almost like moving through mud when you're trying to accomplish something. There is no ease in accomplishing your dreams. Because I know for me, when I was going through medical school, it wasn't easy. But I knew that I desired to be a doctor because my mom was a doctor. And what's interesting, before I went to medical school, she knew how difficult it was. She told me that I would go to medical school over her dead body, pretty much. And I'm like, no, don't say that. And she's like, but you shouldn't do it. But being a humanoid I am, I'm like, oh, I will go there. So that was done out of resistance and reaction in some ways. Yes, I desired it, but there was also a resistance and reaction to, you shouldn't do it. That push and pull. How often do you find yourself in that push and pull situation where you desire something or somebody? Actually, that's possible to desire somebody, like a relationship. And then there is push and pull. Yes, you desire, but somebody tells you shouldn't have it. And then, but I like it, but that's not good for you. And all of that, is it actually your dreams? Or is it the nightmare that you've created based on other people's dreams? So what if you start shifting that? What if you actually chose for you? And as we started talking before the break, what if you actually ask the question, what are my dreams? What would I like to have in my life? What will create more in my life if I choose that? And it's not about receiving the answers. It's about getting an awareness. A lot of things in the universe is communicated through energy. A lot of them don't have words to it. Kind of like, let's ask together. Let's drop our barriers and kind of ask universe. Ask ourselves, what would I like to have in my life, in the future, and as my future? And just open yourself to that energy. Just feel it. Do you feel lightness or do you feel heaviness? We have a wonderful tool in Access Consciousness. If you are new to my show or to Access, there is a tool, light and heavy. Whatever is light is true. Or whatever is true is always light. And if it's heavy, it's a lie. Because lies are always heavy and contracting. And you might feel it differently, but you know when it's true And that's a lie. So anything that doesn't allow you to know, be, receive, and perceive what's true for you, will you destroy and uncreate that? And right and wrong, good and bad, pack and pat, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And as I said before we went on the break, we were talking about clearing statement. It's a tool of access consciousness. You can go to theclearingstatement.com and find out more about it. But for now, just know this is just a vibrational frequency that allows you to clear stuff that normally you wouldn't be able to clear through the cognitive mind. This is about energy. It's not logical, never been logical. And by the way, your limitations, your nightmares are not logical. If they were logical, you would have solved them. Trust me. Because you have so much of computations, calculations, and algorithm running through your brain that if it was logical, if it was based on certain programs in your brain that are logical, you would have solved it. No, it's stuck in a part of subconscious where it's totally illogical. It's based on some sort of programs that you either created yourself or somebody else stuck you with. And by programs, I'm talking about any ideas that running your life that you're not even aware of. Let's say if somebody doesn't have money, a lot of times we found there is a program running that maybe from other lifetimes, or maybe when they were a child, they heard it in a church and somewhere that money is evil. And that program keeps running their life about anything that they create. So they couldn't have money or couldn't have a lot of money, because how could they have money if money is evil or money is dirty, money is blah, 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 whatever they are. And that's how we a lot of times create the nightmares instead of dreams, because we have a dream of having a lot of money, accomplish a lot, and yet we're stuck with just barely enough paying our bills or whatever situation you're in. And the idea is to unlock all those programming and allow you to create actual dreams, not the nightmares. So all the programming that not allow you to have your dreams, your future based on your desires, not your fears, not your programming, will now let it all destroy and uncreate all of it. Right and wrong, good and bad, back and pat, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Just allow yourself to ask, what are my dreams? What future would I like to accomplish? Ooh, cool. A lot of things are starting to shift. Did you notice how like the heavy is starting to dissolve? And by the way, another tool is to expand. Allow yourself to move beyond the boundaries of what you know. And how do we do that? Let's drop our barriers and say how. It's not about how, it's just a choice. Just ask barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, and allow yourself to connect to your body. Just feel your body. Feel, if you're sitting, feel your butt sitting on a chair. Feel your feet planted on the ground. And maybe just touch your body whatever way you'd like. I'm not judging. Anything you choose is your choice. And that's where the dreams come in. You can choose anything. Because a lot of times we choose based on avoiding judgments. How often have you created your dreams according to judgments of others, either good or bad. You've decided that you cannot desire it because it's bad, according to whom? It's amoral, it's bad, it's evil, whatever it is. What if there is nothing bad or evil? What if it's about choosing what creates greater for you and everybody else? And by the way, if you choose something that's greater for you, guess what? Just ask, what will it create for others? And a lot of times it will create greater for others as well. And what if you stop judging you? So allow yourself to plant your feet firmly on the ground, drop your barriers, and connect to earth. And pull the energy of earth through your feet, through your body, and out of your head. And allow the energy go through your head, through your feet, to the earth. And allow that energy expand you, maybe a mile or kilometer, 10 miles, 10 kilometers, 1,000 miles, 1,000 kilometers, and keep expanding, keep expanding, keep expanding. And from that space, look at your life, look at your body, and look at your dreams or nightmares. Are your nightmares as scary as they were before? Or are they a little bit lighter now? Just a little bit lighter, right? And just allow that energy to kind of like dissolve everything that's not working in your life. And you don't have to know how. This is the beauty of it. Let's just send the light into the areas of your life where you decided it's nightmares. And let's send the light in the area where there are dreams. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Because nightmares usually connected with the darkness, and dreams are with the lightness, right? There are good dreams, bad dreams. What if they're just dreams? And what if nightmares or dark dreams are just absence of light? Just bring the light there. And just allow it to shine. And anything that you would like to let go of, just bring that light in. Melt it. And instead of that, allow it to be space where you can create more of what you desire. And it's time for our second break of the show. And when we return, we'll continue playing with dreams or nightmares. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is dreams or nightmares. And we've been talking about your aspirations, your dreams that might not be even yours, like your parents, your grandparents. But we haven't talked about actual dreams that you have when you're sleeping. What are those? And why do we have sometimes wonderful, beautiful dreams, and sometimes we have nightmares? There are a lot of theories about the dreams. I will just talk about what I've experienced and what I've known from Akashic Records, from Access. A lot of times when we go into the dream state, we contact, some people call it higher self, I call it Akashic field, and sometimes psychic field, which is a lot of times it's astral projections. And a lot of people don't have control over their dreams, but some people do. There are techniques where you can have lucid dreams, where you can control your dreams, when you can actually change things in your dreams. Because a lot of times those dreams are part of your mind working out things in your life. And it has downloads from other realms. It has downloads from your own subconscious. You can call it whatever you want. But our mind being a huge computer, it processes information in a very different way. It processes on biochemical level, on energy level. So a lot of things are not quite the same when we are awake versus when we are in a dream state. Majority of things are transmitted like energy waves. So our brain interprets it, sometimes in a weird, totally impossible way, like images. Like some of them are nightmares. I had really bad nightmares for a while. Actually, I remember one of them. It was years ago. That's how I found out about runes, which is kind of like a method of divination, but contacting your higher self, where you can get answers, but it's more about awareness, it's about what's going on for you. I've never seen runes before, but somehow I had a nightmare where those symbols were written on the wall with the blood. I mean, when I woke up, it wasn't pleasant. I'm like, I was in total fear. But I knew there was something about it. It was in a moment of my life when there was turmoil, there was nightmare going on in my life, actually. Not my dreams. My dream marriage turned into nightmare. And I was working with a mentor, Sherry Zakata at that time. And I came for advice. I'm like, I saw those symbols, but I couldn't find the meaning of them. I couldn't find. They were not Hebrew letters. They were not hieroglyphs. They were not anything I could find on the internet at that time. She looked at me, or at least in library, I'm sorry, internet was not as prominent as it is now. We're talking about 25, 26 years ago. And she looked at me, and it's like, you've never seen those. I'm like, nope. She goes to another room and brings out a book of runes. And I was like, what's that? And when we look at, because each symbol usually has a word that it means. It's like one of those pictograms where it's a letter, but it's also a word. It also has a meaning behind it. There is a lot of things in there. But what's interesting, those 7 symbols that I wrote, because I wrote them immediately when I woke up, made up a sentence, which was a call to action. And I'm like, oh my God, that cannot be. How can my dream or nightmare tell me what to do in my wakeful life? And I kind of like looked at that, but that's what it is. Our mind is still at work. It's still our own knowing in the dreams, as long as we can understand, well, not so much understand, but know what are we saying to ourselves. Because a lot of times we go on autopilot, because we can function consciously, unconsciously, or anti-consciously. And a lot of times we are not conscious about what we are doing or being. And by conscious, I mean we do and be what we actually know what we need to be or do. Unconsciously is autopilot when we go to work, when we do things, we have no idea why we did them. And then anti-conscious is the way we function when we know exactly what to do or not to do and do the opposite. And a lot of times our mind or our subconscious, our being, you can call it whatever, soul, whatever your name for the infinite being is, contacts you through your mind, through the dreams, and allows you to know what's required. And we have a choice. We can listen to that or not. We can be conscious or can be anti-conscious or unconscious. It's our choice. So I chose to go with a little bit more conscious choice and listen to my subconscious and chose the action, which was actually correct. Something that created greater when I followed the instruction in my dreams. So, and then I started using runes day to day, which was amazing at that time. And I'm not saying use runes or tarot cards or anything like that. This was my kind of like journey. 26 years ago, I needed that. 20 years ago, I stopped using them because I already had enough of the tools to start moving toward actually talking to my own knowing through Akashic Records, through other tools. It's about us choosing the tools that work for us in the moment without judgment. because I actually got judged in that moment, because I already was a little bit later, like a couple of years later, I was still using ruins and I was doing Akashic Records, and I was told that ruins are lower vibration. And a lot of times, and that was from one of my teachers of Akashic Records, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, but it was not true. It actually didn't feel true. It was like contracting me. At that time, I didn't know light and heavy. Looking back, that's what I used. And by the way, you don't have to officially study Access or Akashic Records. You already know it. Akashic Records are pretty much consciousness, and the way we contact it through our dreams, through during meditation, during our everyday life. The only way we are not being there or listening to them is when we lock ourselves and close ourselves. Some schools use prayers. I use prayers, which is a vibrational frequency to get you vibrating a little bit higher and moving away all those limitations you put on yourself, so you can contact your own knowing with much more ease. So, and by the way, if you ever go to any schools where you open the records and you're contracted, that's not Akashic Records. Records are so vast and so expansive, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of it. Like, as a human race, well, there are people that are very deep in Akashic Records that are kind of like receiving information, and there have been people across time, like Helen Blavatsky or other people, prophets, that got the information from Akashic Records with total ease, and still are people now who do that. It's just, be aware that there are areas that might not be Akashic Records that are called Akashic Records. And we kind of like detracted from our journey about dreams and nightmares, because a lot of dreams actually come from Akashic field, from the consciousness, from our own subconscious. Because Akashic field is not outside of us. It's inside of us. It's pretty much what we are and who we are. Our infinite being and the infinite embodiment. So it's time for our third and final break of the show. You've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we'll continue discussing more on the dreams and nightmares. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is dreams or nightmares. And we have about 8 minutes left in the show. I just wanted to say how grateful I am for the radio show, for the podcast, for you guys listening to it. And what else can we create in the world? What dreams can we bring out? What is that we can change in the world that can create a world as a greater place with more love, more gratitude, more peace, more joy? I've been doing a lot of classes around the world. Before the COVID started, there were a lot more live classes. Some of them got canceled now, but I'm still creating classes. We're going to have Access Bars class in Chicago area in Buffalo Grove on September 27th. There is online classes that I'm facilitating. There will be a telecall series, Create More Time, More Money, More Joy. That's going to start October 1st. It's 3 telecalls, October 1st, 3rd, and 4th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's pretty much going to deal with past, present, and future, and how can we create our dreams of more money, more joy, and more time, because those are usually people's excuses of not creating their lives and not being present with their lives and their bodies. I also am going to do a 3-day body class in Chicago area, October 2nd through 4th, and I'm going to Dallas, Texas for another body class starting October 30th, 31st, and 1st, with an introductory BNU class the evening before the body class. So you can find all those classes on my website, Creating Abundance with Ease, which was just updated with the new graphics, new links, and much, much easier to navigate. Majority of the classes are still posted on Access webpage, which is helengitlevich.accessconsciousness.com. And you can find me on Facebook, where you will see a lot of live shows. Also YouTube, SoundCloud, and about 50 different podcast stations where this show will go on, where you can find links everywhere. So in our last 5 minutes of the show, I just want to talk a little bit about you, about how can you stop concentrating on the negatives, on the nightmares. Because the more you concentrate on something, the more you create that. It's just like in that fairy tale, which wolf would you feed? Would you feed the wolf of nightmares? You'll get more nightmares and your dreams start dying. If you feed more your dreams, guess what? Your dreams will flourish and become more available, and the nightmares start dying off. But people say, but that's what's true for me right now. But is it actually true? Remember what I said in the beginning? Whatever is true is light, and whatever is heavy is a lie. Are your nightmares light, or are they heavy and contracting? So how many lies you've been telling yourself, and how much of those lies you've been creating to make them true? But can you make a lie into a truth? Probably. But is it working for you now? What if you let go of all of those lies? What if you start concentrating on creating something greater? Just imagine how much more ease can you have in your life if you started concentrating on creating more money. And I'm not saying not doing any action, just sitting on the couch and dreaming about money. Well, it's possible. It can happen. But usually, if you start dreaming, if you start actually pulling the energy of the universe into your life, energy of money, energy of wealth, energy of love, energy of gratitude, more of that starts showing up. And you don't have to know how it shows up. Just know it will. Somehow, somewhere. Just be present with the energies and answer the call of that energy, because the universe will start calling you. Somebody might offer you to go someplace, and it would feel just like in your dream. Oh, and you say, oh, maybe that's where I need to go. And don't judge it. Just follow what's light for you. There are funny things that happen. I remember following that energy, and I was asking, what can I be and do right now to create more money? And I got an awareness, or call it an answer, go clean up your closet. And I'm like, really? I don't want to clean up my closet. And I felt heavy when I said that. And I'm like, okay, clean up the closet. And I felt light. So I went, I donated some of my clothes, organized it a little bit. And that evening, somebody signed up for my class. How cool was that? So what if it is that easy? What if it is that simple? Just follow the energy. Or call that friend. I called that friend and talked to her, and she asked me, she's like, when is your next class? I have somebody asking for it. And I told her. So just be you. Anything that's not you is what's stopping you. Any nightmares are not you. Yours are the dreams and aspirations. Just allow it to be. Just allow yourself to shift and change based on what's light for you. And we are coming to the end of the show. And don't worry, next week we'll be right back with amazing guest Betsy McLaughlin, creating yumminess with your body and life. And we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.